The members of the 507th had been on the move with little sleep for 2.5 days. Suddenly, they were on the wrong road at the wrong time and at the wrong end of Iraqi guns.
They had a spot set up right there, just unloading on anything that turned at the corner.
Machine gun fire?
Yes.
Small weapons fire?
Yeah.
Edgar Hernandez and Shauna Johnson were in a 5-ton tractor trailer, followed by Miller and Riley. Then Joe Hudson in his 10-ton wrecker. Moving up the convoy was the Humvee carrying Jessica Lynch and 4 other soldiers. What did you see as they passed you?
Machine gun fire. There was people firing at the Humvee, and there was everywhere you looked, somebody was firing.
And were they firing from out of the Humvee?
There was return fire from the Humvee. And they just disappeared in the distance.
Up ahead, specialists Hernandez and Johnson had their own problems. At the wheel of the huge rig, Hernandez was ducking beneath the dashboard to dodge incoming fire. As he tried to maneuver around an Iraqi dump truck blocking their way, he veered off the road.
I got stuck in the mud.
They jackknifed.
The trailer portion, was it still on the road?
Part of it, the end part.
Part of it. And at the same time, we're getting hit from every directions.
At that point, my weapon was working. I was able to fire off a shot. I saw some money in the train line, and I tried to take him out.
And all of a sudden, somebody hit us from behind, and the whole truck moved. I turned back, and then I saw the Humvee.
The speeding Humvee had slammed into the back of their jackknifed tractor trailer. Did you feel the impact, Shauna?
Yes.
They hit the truck moving pretty fast.
Yes.
Yeah. We jumped when he hit it.
I felt it more than I heard it. And we weren't sure what it was until Hernandez took a look back and saw what it was.
Did you know who was in that vehicle?
Yes. I knew Lori was driving first. I knew Lynch was in the vehicle. I didn't know anybody else.
Private First Class Lori Piestowa was driving the Humvee when she lost control after an explosion. In the back seat, her best friend in the unit, Jessica Lynch.
But there was no movement whatsoever.
Do you remember what you thought when you saw that?
Heartbreak. Because you just knew that they were all gone. But we had to keep going.
Captain King, with 5 of his soldiers, made it through the gauntlet of Iraqis and raced out of town to find help. The Marines they had passed going into An-Naziriyah were still there. They immediately made their way up the highway and rescued 10 members of the 507th who were stranded near their disabled vehicles and under fire. But the Marines could not rescue all of them.
At this point, I probably had 4 of my 8 tires shot out by that time. There's smoke just flying everywhere, rubber flying everywhere.
Enemy fire brought Joe Hudson's wrecker to a halt and killed the soldier sitting next to him, Chief Warrant Officer Johnny Mata. Hudson, himself wounded, was surrounded.
They stopped firing and they came to the truck, opened the door and pulled me out.
And what did they do with you?
They threw me in the back of a truck and went to the An-Naziriyah headquarters.
Parading him like a trophy, he says, along the way. At the rear of the convoy, James Riley and Patrick Miller were taking some of the heaviest fire.
The truck was getting hit. I was ducking up under the dash and popping up just to make sure I was still on the road. I could see the bullets bouncing off the hood.
And the sounds, what did you hear?
Just pop, 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 pop. Just rounds rattling off the metal. And I seen one guy jump out in the road and aim at me, and I ended up hitting him.
Miller says at this point, the truck's transmission had been shot out.
And just steadily losing speed.
So you were basically coasting to a stop?
Pretty much.
Even as you took fire?
Yes.
We got out on foot. He's in front of me, and he runs a lot faster than me. Getting shot at will make you run faster. And he takes off, and I'm right behind him, going as fast as I can, trying to get to cover.
Were they shooting at you as you moved down that road?
Oh, yeah, you could hear the bullets swinging by your head and impacting on the concrete around us.
How'd you ever make it down there alive?
I have no idea.
I have no idea, sir. None.
Luck.
Blind luck.
On foot, under fire, Riley and Miller ran nearly a quarter of a mile to reach Edgar Hernandez and Shauna Johnson, whose vehicle had been rammed by the Humvee.
Back end of the tractor trailer was right up to the front windshield. You have the butt end of the trailer, and here's the front windshield.
And I looked in to see if anybody was alive. And from my perspective, the only thing I saw was Lynch's foot twitching, but she looked like she was dead like everybody else in the truck.
Didn't appear anybody had survived,
No,
as best you could see.
The twitching I assumed was from the after effects of the nerves. So I ran.
That was the only movement inside the vehicle. Believing no one in the Humvee had survived, Pat Miller risked his own life, setting out to commandeer a nearby Iraqi truck. Sergeant Riley tried to provide cover fire, but there was a problem.
At this point, the weapons are jamming up. They're not. We're experiencing some malfunctions.
Shauna, that's when you were hit. What do you remember about that?
Sergeant Riley had told us to get down, take cover, and then I felt the burn.
The burn of the bullets going through your
My legs.
leg. Edgar, at what point were you injured?
Like 30 seconds later.
Already hit by shrapnel in the face, Hernandez, on the ground beneath his truck, took a bullet in his right arm. So you're injured, you are injured, and at this point, James, all three of you are under the truck, trying to take cover as best you can.
Trying to take cover and taking fire from RPGs, which are rocket-propelled grenades. Some, I don't know what they were, an improvised explosive of some sort, like a great big pipe bomb, because you could hear it hit the asphalt and go ding, ding, boom, as it blew up.
You're talking about a major assault on you.
Oh yeah, we could see them moving around trying to, just waiting. And there were more of them coming every second.
Unable to reach that Iraqi truck, Private Miller instead scrambled to a spot overlooking the road. What he did there may have saved his fellow soldiers' lives. It earned him a Silver Star.
I seen a group of Iraqis setting up a mortar pit, and as one of them tried to load the round into the tube, I shot him and he fell over and dropped the round. They did that about like 6 more times. Never got the round loaded.
You were picking them off every time they tried to drop one in?
Yes,
One after the other?
yes. There was a guy running with a AK-47, had 2 women in front of him, using him as like a human shield. So I popped the round off over in that direction, and they all fell down. The 2 women got up, I guess got away from the guy. When the guy got up again, I shot off another round and he just fell over. And as I looked back toward the mortar pit, all I saw was a big circle, and that's when I had to give up because there was nothing else I can do.
A circle of Iraqis around you.
Yes. If I wouldn't have give up, I'd probably be dead.
And what happened at that point?
They like gang tackled me.
For the 507th, the fight was almost over. Sergeant Riley made a decision that frustrates him to this day.
None of the weapons were functioning. I've got 2 wounded. Miller's already been surrounded and captured, and they've got us totally pretty much encircled and pouring fire in. So the choice was taken away. That's part of the code of conduct. You resist until you no longer have the means to resist, and at that point we didn't have the means to resist. It was a choice of die now or die later.
So what did you do?
Hope like hell they wouldn't shoot me when I walked out, and crawled out and put the weapon down, put my hands up.
They pulled you out from under the truck, Shoshana?
Yes.
What do you remember about that?
Terror. You don't know what's going to happen.
James, how scared were you?
Oh, that hadn't hit yet. That didn't hit until later. It was more of being pissed off, sir.
Pissed off at?
The firefight. Not being able to send a couple of them to meet their maker. It would have been really nice to send a couple of them to somewhere else.
It had been a costly day for the lost convoy. 11 dead, many wounded. The running gun battle had lasted about an hour, an eternity in combat. These 5 survived, but now in captivity, the test of their courage would continue.
You know, they have a camera in your face after all this happened.
What's your name?
Shauna.
Shana?
Angry, scared, and in a tremendous amount of pain.
You come from Texas?
The cameras were rolling.